Hey now.
I love it when a plan comes together.
Boner.
All week long.
Have a good day.
For everybody that always says we're late, we're early
Rico
today.
Smith
We
versus
got,
Paige Vaughn. Case number
we're- okay.
C22G4441LT.
Very quickly, this is something that we had on. We got a
Hold on,
case
just one
this
moment.
week.
Mr. Smith, come over, like in this.
Yeah.
And now they are in
the
person.
return of the landlord and Paige, the tenant, who didn't have the fire smoke detector. She didn't have the windows open. So now we're going to find out, did he get it? Did he make it happen? Paige looking good as ever.
Identify yourself for the record.
Your Honor, Mr. Tamiko Smith, T-A-M-I-E.
Licensed or unlicensed?
Last name Smith, Common Spelling.
Maybe.
Speak up, ma'am.
Paige Vaughn.
Spell your name.
Speak up, Paige. People are listening.
Ma'am, would you rather just lay on the
Please remember
floor,
that.
like at your home?
Use your outdoor voice since you got the mask.
Paige Vaughn.
Are you picking her up?
Yeah.
Okay. That mic is just recording. It doesn't amplify your voice. Okay, we were here on the 12th, which was,
No, today's 12th, Judge.
we were here on the 10th.
Yes.
And we adjourned it to today in person because
Today's the 16th.
I ordered that Mr. Smith install smoke detectors and get these bedroom windows with screens or air conditioning installed. So where are we at?
Your Honor, I went to the home yesterday and confirmed that there were already 5 working smoke detectors in the home. I actually bought five, but when I went to the home, there were already 5 in there. There was one that needed a battery. I replaced the battery, and I took pictures to confirm that they were already installed. I also bought 5 screens and I put them in the bedroom. I identified specific spots, took pictures and put them in the bedroom. I went to the Flint Housing Commission or the Flint inspector, and they told me which screens to get and what was needed for the home, and I did that yesterday.
I believe pink.
But the home did already have smoke detectors in it.
Let me see the pictures.
Is Paige in any of these photos?
Show them to her and then show them to me.
I can't wait to hear her side of this because, again, she's just trying to get free rent. Let's be honest. He's a slumlord, yes. But she's trying to get free rent.
Allegedly.
You know.
Allegedly. But she said there was
Did
no
you print
smoke.
them out?
She said there was
I printed out
5.
the pictures of the screen. I also printed out pictures of ceiling fans that are installed in the home. And I took photos of the home, the smoke detectors.
Did you print out the picture
I
of
printed
the,
out,
of the,
not of
of
the smoke
smoke
detectors,
detector?
sir. I just, none of the smoke detectors.
So what, they're on your phone? They're on your phone?
Yes, sir.
All right, well, how many pictures are there?
The pictures that I have right here are 1, 2, 3, 4 pictures.
Well, you show them to her and then show them to me.
It's already messing up.
Yeah. Because if he doesn't have the picture, she's going to say, he's lying, Judge.
Right? And then
Okay, show her the pictures of the smoke detector.
May I approach the bench?
Show her the pictures of the smoke detectors too.
Oh, I sent the pics.
He sent them to you. You have them
She's like,
on your phone?
I'll show her the pics.
Yeah, show them, make sure it's just the same one that she's got.
she's going to strong arm him later.
how do you not come prepared with pictures of everything that she bitched about? That's a slam dunk with the stupid smoke detectors, at least.
Wait.
Well,
Let me
shit.
see.
These are the pictures of the screens. that were put in along with the
It's
ceiling
a
fan.
little slot to put it through. In the glass.
He's got the drawer like it's a
You
gas
installed a
station.
ceiling fan.
No, the ceiling fans were already installed, but there's ceiling fans in every room of the home because there was question about the heat.
You
And
know,
I
so
wanted
when
to
it's
show the court
95,
that
it
not
just
only
blows
were
around
there
the
already ceiling
95
fans
degree
in
air.
there, but I went over and installed screens and there were already smoke detectors in the home when I went there. It's the picture of,
Yeah, go to the next one.
Guys are brutal. I love it.
She's
Go
a
to the
thick
next one.
girl. Mhm.
I'll put in my 2 cents. Definitely
the
not
next
laying
one.
out an airbed, more of a futon mattress.
All right.
and there was one that was missing that I had to replace, but they were already there in the home.
Did they work?
Yeah, I mean,
There
he
was
said
one missing and
I'd have
4 that
videos
were
of
there.
each of them being tested.
What do you have
Mhm.
to say about that,
I
man?
mean,
Uh-oh.
And I had pushed and they weren't working, that's exactly what I told my mom too.
Ma'am, you know what?
I have no reason to lie.
Do you know what you said the other day? Do you remember what you said the other day?
I do. I remember.
You told me there were no smoke detectors in the home.
Zero.
Sharon,
Zero.
when you have problems, you don't have to pay for it.
Ma'am, listen to me. Do you understand the difference between no smoke detectors and smoke detectors that don't work? You told me there were no smoke detectors in the home. Do you remember saying that?
I remember.
I said they didn't work.
No, not at all. You said there were no smoke detectors. Listen,
Yes,
ma'am.
I think that's actually common.
And you had said there were smoke detectors there, but they didn't work. I would have said, put a battery. I would have told him, put a battery in them. Or I would have told him to reimburse you for batteries. You told me there were no smoke detectors in the home. And I told him to go over there and install them.
I didn't say at all, that never came out of my mouth.
Wow.
I said
Okay.
there was none in the home.
You know what I'd love to do?
Oh shit.
You know what?
Pull it up. Pull it up.
Ma'am,
Do it, Herman.
you see, we record all this, okay?
Okay.
And you know what? I don't have a problem. I have a problem doing it today. But I don't have a problem with going
Contempt.
back and watching the recordings. Okay? I don't have a problem doing that,
Thank you. Dude.
okay?
Go ahead, watch it. It's all over
And-
YouTube.
If you didn't tell the truth, you could be held in contempt of court for putting a falsehood out there. So,
Falsehood.
I questioned
Because of this, but
you and him on this more than once. Because I'm telling you, ma'am, when I hear there are no smoke detectors in a home, look, this case was going to be dismissed.
Falsehoods.
I was going to dismiss it on Wednesday because he didn't have a rental license. I held it over because I was really concerned about the smoke detector issue, and I was concerned about the ventilation issue as well. Okay?
When I said there was no smoke detectors, I meant they didn't work. They weren't working for me. That's not me lying.
Well, ma'am, there's
Maybe I
a
should've
there's
been
a
clear.
whole
I
huge
didn't lie.
there's a huge difference between something not existing
let's talk about how her shirt
versus
screams what?
something
Who's
that's
had
in
some?
disrepair.
Jesus Christ.
And I guess I'm not. I guess I mean, you are a grown person. You're not a little kid. You're a grown person. I gotta believe that as a grown adult person, you understand the difference between saying something isn't there and something's not working. I know I mean, I could be wrong,
It's a big difference.
but I
He did say
sincerely
there were
think that you
no
understand the difference.
numerous times, right?
I'm stressed because I have 3 kids that might be homeless.
But I asked you more than one time about this.
I said they didn't.
Lying about it isn't a good
I
thing.
said there wasn't 5, there wasn't 5.
You said there were no, ma'am.
He said.
Listen to me.
It's not-
Listen to me. It
That's not
freaked me.
insane.
It freaked me out. And believe you me, in
kinda went on
21
about it.
years of sitting here, whatever, it's 21, 22, I'm losing count. I've heard of homes where there are no smoke detectors. And even if it's a case I'm gonna dismiss, I usually do what I did in this case, which was to put it over and give the landlord, order them to correct it.
No chance.
I was never given anything to get any help before the case went to you.
That's a whole different issue, man. You're trying to avoid the issue. Here's the note.
No,
You
I'm
know what, I
not.
wish.
Can
Can I show it now?
I'm trying to, I
Okay,
never got
all
help.
right. So wait a minute.
Ever.
You got
Okay.
you got the time. Well, that's what I was doing the adjournment, right?
Wait till he shows the pictures of all the open windows.
Yes. The painted shut you on. Now he's got her over a barrel. What's it going to take?
What a great start.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Afternoon. I'm District Judge
I
Herman Miller.
indicated that I was adjourning it to today to allow plaintiff a chance to correct the issue of missing smoke detector.
Yeah, that was the biggest complaint, really.
It was the trigger that got all this started.
You guys got to
Also,
remember.
Space there where you said that he was ordered to place them in the sleeping areas.
Yep.
That
Yep,
in the north, there's still
right there.
lots of homes
That's
without
at
like central
17
air
or
or any of that.
117
Even
o'clock.
business, even in the town that I grew up, in,
36
still with
steps.
it. So the no AC is not a huge deal. I mean, especially when you're talking about Michigan. But the smoke detectors, 3 kids, it's a big deal.
It's a safety issue.
Sure it is.
And not being able to open a window can also be a safety issue.
Well,
And
you got
again-
your arms folded, and so do I.
He's
I
allegedly
have
still a
nowhere in my
slumlord.
house, and I don't have nowhere else to go.
Well, let's talk about this ventilation issue.
And
It's not
free
even
rent.
that. I have a throat disease. but
Just a
what-
second. Don't stop. I want to see if my order was complied with. He showed pictures of the screens that he put in. He showed pictures of the ceiling fans. So how many different screens, are these windows operable in the bedrooms now?
They were operable. There was only 2 windows that weren't operable. I went over to the home, Your Honor, lifted up the windows, they were operable, and I placed the screens in them. So the windows in the bedroom were operable. There were 2 that are in the living room that were painted shut, and I sat there and talked with her and her mother as I was able to lift those up. As I lifted one of them up, it broke, so I took it out and said, hey, I'll replace this one. But I also placed screens in the living rooms. And I made sure that every room in the house has a ceiling fan except one bedroom. And I said, hey, I don't have a problem with putting the ceiling fan in that bedroom, if that's the issue.
All right, so I want to know if there's cross ventilation in there now.
I'm not sure what the term of cross ventilation.
I want to know, well, what I'm
Cross
saying
ventilation.
is,
There's ventilation in there.
can you get a breeze through the house?
Absolutely.
Yes, there is.
She's saying yes, there is.
Proper ventilation.
Proper ventilation.
Well, again, and I'm going to admonish you, you can't have a house in the summertime that doesn't have ventilation. It's unsafe. Okay?
Testing.
And just as you got to have a working heating system between October 1st and March 1st.
There's a working heating system in the home, Your Honor.
Well, I don't know. Okay, ma'am, what is it that you wanted to say? I'm going to give you the last word in essence.
I mean, I don't know what's happening with this house because I don't have the money to pay for it right now.
To pay for what?
Well, I don't have nowhere to go.
You haven't paid for rent in months.
Well, ma'am, you
How far
know,
behind?
are you employed?
I just got a new job.
I start tomorrow.
Is it a full-time job?
I'm considered part-time.
And, okay, well, are you making
Allegedly.
above minimum wage?
Dave. Most likely.
Most sites are the same price, so I can't even tell you that because I just started there.
Okay,
Every
well-
site's different, security guard.
Pound
said
and
she-
two
I
liter.
just recently started working there. I don't have, my bills are all behind from me and Rob, they're like $4,500.
Well, ma'am, you know, I had suggested to you, you know, the other day
You got this.
that you go to legal services. And you told me, well, they don't want, the one guy wouldn't decline to one gentleman declined to represent you. That's what you told me. And I suggested to you that you contact them back. Remember, you know, that I usually have somebody else, but
I thought she said
I don't know.
security guard.
I never received, I called all the places, I just called them out there too, but I
Ball
never
top.
got them, and the only reason I was even called those is because he showed me the paper out there.
because he showed you what?
He showed me the paper with stuff, I never received that.
What paper? To be in court last week?
No, I never received nothing to get help ever.
Oh.
Can I address the court, Your Honor?
Uh-oh. She's willing to sleep with me, Your Honor.
Why isn't there is there a lease in here? Huh?
There is.
Verbal lease,
So
probably.
you're talking about help from Sarah?
I never was able to get it at any of these 3 court dates. I was never sent nothing, now probably by the judge before me. it
Do
was
you-
sending something
don't you have
around
to
and
find that
just-
yourself? They don't seek you out.
The paper she's referring to is the court paper that you guys give them.
Normally, yeah.
I sat out in the hallway and we both called, each number, eviction, relief program, and they say that Sarah had ended, they couldn't help her. Salvation Army couldn't help her. She said she already completed the SDR and DHS denied it. So at this point in time, Your Honor, I'm the type of person, I said, I don't want to see you go homeless. I wanted to pay your security deposit and first month's rent to a new house. I just, you know,
Wow.
I'm willing to help her any way that I can, you know, but she didn't identify anything. You know, it's a tough situation for the young lady. I don't want to put her out at all whatsoever, but I want to help her. I can't help her. I don't know, you know.
Well, ma'am, the other thing was you said you were gonna bring a copy of the building inspector's
I
report.
have it right here, Your Honor. I went down and got it.
Okay, well, why don't you show him your copy?
That was a silver bullet.
Same thing, yeah.
Well, let me
You had
see
that
the
last time.
cleanest, nicest, prettiest copy. I don't care whose it is.
Brand new.
This is like that because they-
She had hers in her bra.
Inspector's office yesterday, Your Honor.
So why didn't you get it? It's sent to Breckenridge, which is what you listed on your complaint. Why do you claimed you hadn't got?
When I went down there, they said they mailed it. If you look at the date is June 24th. They said that I should have gotten it today in the mail. So I said, I asked them for a copy. Just when I went down there after the court hearing. I went down
It
there
looks
and
a whole lot better today than the other day.
I spoke to them about all the issues, and they kind of explained to me what needed to be done.
Yes.
Oh my
Melissa.
God, you got a furnace in there, but it hasn't been inspected. Eaves, truss, and trim are missing. That's not a big deal, but that furnace thing, that's a big
And
deal.
what you said about the furnace, Your Honor, the furnace is installed properly. I just have to have a contractor come in and basically give me a permit. I mean, you can't, I wasn't aware.
It's gotta be inspected to make sure, you know, it's not spitting out carbon monoxide or something.
Yeah, and that's what he
Okay,
said. A
it's
permit.
unsafe without, you know, the permit.
Yeah, I think, yeah, without the permit, that's what he said. He gave me remedies for everything. There was nothing, no major safety issues cited, but I wanted to address all that. I don't have a problem doing that. That doesn't negate the fact.
It's a gas line that's uncapped. Ooh, that's not good.
Uh-oh.
In the basement. You know, ma'am, it says
What about the
smoke
black
detectors
mold
are
basement?
not working. Doesn't say there are no smoke detectors in this report. So that's why I know that even the building inspector said that there, ma'am, the building inspector, who has no dog or cat in any of this fight, said smoke detectors are not working. Didn't say that they were missing or were non-existent, said they're not working. So ma'am, you didn't tell the truth.
I said they were working.
You said that there were no smoke detectors.
Yeah,
If she
so they're
keeps it
not
up, he's
working,
gonna pull it.
Not working.
But it's not my job to put batteries in them.
You're missing the
Uh,
point. You lied about it.
They don't.
You
Yeah.
lied about the existence of the smoke detectors. They were there. And here's a building inspector that said that they were there.
Hey,
Did
Dennis.
not lie about that.
Denise.
He was stating that there was 5 in there. I said, no.
Ma'am, I tell you what,
And it states that there's not 5.
ma'am, I tell you what, if you want to take me up on this issue, we will play this, we will set this
I'm
for
not
another
playing
date.
games. I have kids.
We will set this for another date and we will have a contempt hearing, okay?
A contempt, what does that mean?
What is contempt of court?
You're not making any sense, that's what I'm saying.
Oh,
I'm saying you can be held in contempt of court if you tell a lie in court.
I didn't lie.
Okay. all right.
Maybe misworded it, but I didn't lie.
no.
Misworded it.
Wow.
I'm stressed out. You have a home to go to. I have 3 kids.
Never been so stressed. I come into court and lie.
This is ridiculous.
She seemed very
I have
casual.
a gas leak in my house, and I'm wrong.
Well, you lied.
Well, where does it say that you got a gas?
If there's a gas not capped, it's a gas leak.
It doesn't say that.
If I bring a consumer energy guy out there,
It says,
it
let
was a
me
gas leak.
read what the building inspector wrote.
Yeah.
There is an
He
unused,
told me don't go near it.
I wouldn't go near it either, but it says there is an unused gas line located in the basement that is uncapped.
The way Rick
A
said it,
properly fitted cap or plug shall be installed.
No.
It does not say that it's leaking.
He didn't say gas
Doesn't
was
say
coming
that.
out of it.
Doesn't say that at
It's
all.
unused. So that means it's probably empty anyway.
Uncapped, that's
Yeah.
dangerous, period.
You think they're giving you free gas, lady?
She's just grabbing onto any little small thing now. And he's
If
doing
there's
the right
not
thing.
gas running through it,
Yes, exactly.
it's probably not dangerous. I got a
I can
feeling.
say what Rick Smith said to me, and I'm not lying, and I can call him and ask him. Maybe bring him to court with me. He said, don't go near it. It's
I-
not capped.
I don't blame you.
That was the way he said it to me.
You know what? Like I said previously, I'm willing to do, I'm rental license, everything, that's gonna be done. That's the issue is that she's homeless, she's gonna be homeless, she doesn't have any way to pay.
She
I've
will
tried to help
soon.
her with resources, I've even offered to pay my own money to help her find a place. She doesn't, I
Don't
don't
have
know
a
what else
place
I
to
can
go
do.
to.
Can you return this to Mr. Smith?
Do you need a copy in the file, sir?
Yeah, you could put a copy. Okay, so what? As I said before,
Thank you.
this case is getting dismissed
Okay.
because you don't have a rental license. And the ordinance says you gotta have
Geez, Stephen over here.
a rental license to collect rent and to bring a non-payment of rent case in court.
Okay.
So,
Oh, she gets to stay
that's
for
why it's
free.
getting thrown out.
Okay.
And so, ma'am, he has to, if he's still trying to evict you, he's got to start all over.
Pink.
I'm sorry, Your Honor, can you read that?
If he is trying to evict you still, he's got to, start at square one again.
So you got months still. He's telling you without telling you.
Ma'am, you know what? I think, let me just give you a little bit of advice, okay? People don't like being quote unquote gamed. Have you heard that expression? What it means to game somebody? Hmm? Okay. People don't like that. I don't like it. And I'm telling you, you say you misword things. Okay. I'm trying to tell you, the most important thing you have, in this world. I don't know if it's money or your children. I mean, all that stuff, but your credibility. Credibility is like really important, especially in court. I'll put it that way. So I don't think that it benefits you to exaggerate a situation. Don't exaggerate. Don't say something that's not true.
That was my intention.
Well, I'm not going to go there right now. I'm just not. But I'm just telling you. I mean, you said you had trouble with legal services. Maybe this is why. I don't know. I have no idea. But, ma'am, it's a big deal that he doesn't even has never had a rental license. So that's pretty bad, in and of itself. I don't think that doesn't bear enhancing the rest of the conditions. Do you know what I'm saying? I mean, it's kind of like it kind of reminds me, if there was a murderer somewhere and a prosecutor was saying he killed 3 people and he's led a life of crime his whole life and he wears clothes that don't match. Why enhance? There's no need. He killed 3 people. That's pretty bad all on its own. You don't have to say he wears clothes that don't match. Or he I don't know, kicks the cat. You don't have to add, you don't have to enhance it when you got something like he doesn't have a rental license. He's operating this illegal. You don't have to enhance it. So anyway, I need to sign a dismissal.
Yeah, I just have a quick question. Are these photos staying in the file, Judge?
Yeah, he's got copies, I'm sure.
Yes, I do.
Did he give you copies of the photos?
I can give a copy. That's not an issue.
Well, we make copies
Okay.
right now.
I don't
they're
think
colored.
so.
And they're dark to begin with. It's not going to copy well. I mean, she didn't dispute them, so.
Well, let's do this. We'll make copies, give her the color copies. We'll have no, give her the black and white copies.
Okay.
We got the ventilation going. That's the important. Okay. It's not those pictures. It's the ventilation. The good thing about it is it's only going to be in the 70s today. So it's not going to be
Good news.
It's not going to be like it was a couple of weeks ago.
Well, they didn't even put it.
Be kicking
I mean,
cat.
it's livable in the low 70s with the windows open. And you got ceiling fans too, so you could probably make it.
No, this is really quick.
I'm good at guessing weight.
When I will be obtaining a rental license. As a matter of fact, I signed the application. But in case we go in front of you, rental license or not, that doesn't negate the fact that you can't pay for it. And,
No, but you are obligated to do. Listen. When the lease started, you had 60 days to get a rental license, and you didn't do it.
And that's fine. I accept full responsibility for that, Your Honor. Absolutely.
I mean, I don't. It's like driving a car and not having a license.
Absolutely.
you can't cry when you get pulled over and you get written up for driving while license suspended or no license.
Absolutely. I just want to suggest a plan. I just want her to have some type of plan because I'm gonna file again. I just want her to use this time to try to, try to come up with a
That's,
plan.
that's between you and her.
I mean, it's not
That's
between me and her, it's between her because ultimately, follow the law. So I just want her.
I'm married, you're a fat sissy.
Well, I mean, if you guys work, you said you're willing to pay.
Dave.
Yesterday, you said you were willing to pay text.
Yeah, so I was willing
Like
to
to
pay.
work with me.
Absolutely. I was willing to pay her a security deposit and or basically refund her money so she could leave.
No,
and go
that's
to another
not what
place.
we agreed on.
You collected,
That was my-
didn't you collect a security deposit from him?
Yes, I did.
But that wasn't what we agreed on. We agreed that if I got help from a program, he would let me still stay there.
No, absolutely. If you got help,
But I
absolutely.
can't help that they turned me down.
I know, and I can't help that.
It's
either,
not
though.
his
And
problem.
I agree. We both set out, Ron, we both set out.
Well, let me
But
make one,
technically,
I'll make one last, I'm gonna make one last suggestion. Because when I finish signing this paper, I'm done with the two of you for now. Here's my last suggestion on it. If you guys are able to communicate and work it out, fantastic, but it doesn't sound like that's
free.
going on very well. So the what do they call the Community Resolution Center? Do we have the number for them?
Because yesterday you wanted to help me, and now today you're saying you want me out of your house.
No, I'm saying, I wanted to help you.
That's
Look,
not helping
look,
me.
you guys, hey, I'm talking.
Jesus.
Because when I sign this paper, I haven't put my name there yet. You guys are gonna get out of this room. If you guys have trouble working this out between yourselves, you can go
Yeah,
to,
it's-
there's a number there.
You gave him a week.
On there?
Yep. Let's give them that. Community Resolution Center. They have a
He wasn't even
mediator.
supposed to be
You
renting.
guys can sit down with each other. Ma'am, here. I'm gonna give you my copy.
I have a stack of them.
Well, here, you can have mine.
Oh, Squishy Gardner.
Yeah, but you
Hey,
said
buddy.
something else on there, didn't you?
Always
No.
great to
Oh,
see you.
that's today. I did.
You
probably.
guys can go
If
over
you're not
there
subscribed to Old Squishy Gardner,
and hammer out an agreement. You can they'll put it in writing. And that way, it's not gonna be this he said, she said, well, you said this yesterday, but you said this tomorrow, you guys can, that's what you guys ought to do. That's what I would do.
Yes, man.
Okay, so that's my suggestion. So I'm starting to write my name.
He's putting his Herbie Hancock on it.
My name is done.
There's a copy for you again.
All right, that's it. Thank you.
I'm gonna give you these copies. Everyone just wait a moment.
she's so nice. She's the one that came out ahead, basically free rent in this shithole, but still.
And here's the thing. I mean, up and down, she's in the wrong,
Yeah.
but he's not going to get, she's going to be there for more months and months. I have no idea how long it's going to take him to get this renter's license, permit, whatever he needs.
Leave that running. We're just watching them leave.
Nobody is going to be able to get them out until all that is done. And then,
And him being licensed and
yeah, then he's got to take her back to court. She has probably 6 months to just flop there. So hopefully she does take advantage of it. And back to Squishy Gardner's thing. Yeah, nobody was watching Judge Herman. Nobody. Now everybody's watching him.
love it.
Thanks to two guys I know. Now, I've had sex with one of them. Well, kind of.
Huh?
We're not going to get
Getting for the reasons stated on the record, Judge.
Yep.
he's he's willing to pay first month's rent and a deposit somewhere for her to leave. He don't want her problem no more.
Such an interesting case, though, on so many different levels. It's very entertaining the first time around, and here we are blasted him for being a slumlord, which kind of could be.
He seems like a really nice guy.
And he seems like he wants to. I mean, look at him holding the door for her. Nice dude.
What a man! What a man! What a mighty good man.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
Okay. RPM Auto
Obviously,
Sales
it's
versus
Judge
Ricky Motney. Case number 04-0540GC.
All right, I'll tell you what. I just want to jump over to here and show you. This is not who you think it is. He has not gotten
wheelchairs.
He's not gotten old. That's not piss bag. But I'm wondering what he's covering up underneath there. I was wondering if playing or something.
I'm gonna tell old Squishy Gardner, Licking County needs more coverage.
So
That they do our
No, but I mean,
we're back
make
live
that
here.
argument. We killed our parents. We're orphans, so we want mercy.
What?
And we're, you know,
What did we just walk into?
Did he say kill parents?
I believe so.
Hold on. I gotta rewind. You go back to yours for a second, and I've got to rewind this. I got to see what the hell's going on here.
Oh, I don't have anything but licking up and live. So hurry up.
Hold off.
Licking live.
Judge George,
All right, I'm back.
you have any other
I'm gonna jump
questions
on
today?
him.
All right, and we'll jump over
One
to
attorney. And she contacted RPM's attorney, and he still did not want to drop the case.
who was that that spoke to you, Mr. Cradaville?
It was Kamila Horn.
Oh, from Legal Services.
Yep.
Okay, so
Yeah, and I couldn't. Her solution that she offered is not something I could accept.
It's true. It's hard to know when any of the three go live because they're always live.
And they don't say
Basically, she need to cap our recovery at some nominal amount and keep the garnishment funds up to a certain amount, and then dismiss the case. And I can't agree to that.
Oh, I hate this Brent guy, by the way. Yeah, you're right, Dave. He's a
well, it's Mr. Motney. She's not here right now. So is she going to continue to represent you, or is the fact that she's not here right now kind of telling me she's not?
I thought she would have been there, but I'm not for sure what's going on. So
When's the last time you talked to her, sir?
it was right after she talked to their RPM's attorney.
I don't know when that was. When was that?
this kid murder.
Second.
RPM just wants money.
Seen a couple of running.
She contacted me.
Right.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Contacted me about two separate cases. This being one of them, and that was on July 21st.
Okay, well,
And we went back and forth a little bit on this case. Last email on the 22nd. I don't see anything since July 22nd. The other case she contacted me on, we communicated
well,
further.
Classic.
I don't need to know about that one. So 3 weeks ago, roughly.
I'm saying just go to licking. This
Yeah, I
can't
think
be
so.
good.
Yes, sir.
So
I'll pause.
Mr.
We can come
Motney,
Now we've got a full wait till they go over to the church pews because we're full today.
Oh wow, that's
Be
nice.
down there.
Brett Favre, everybody.
So if we're isolated ourselves, how do we make money?
Somebody's
Don't
in
be
the
a stranger, old Squishy Gardner. Great to
Good
see
to
you.
see you.
brother. Thanks, dude.
great content, brother. Keep it up.
You know, watch
He doesn't
every
need
day.
our help at all.
No.
We need his.
That's for
Okay.
sure.
Are you employed?
No, not right now.
Do you receive disability benefits or are you just unemployed?
Just unemployed.
And what kind of work do you normally do?
I do heating and cooling, but without a driver's license, I haven't really been able to do it.
You
Right.
driving the air conditioner?
I mean, they do have motorized coolers. There's that.
They can put you with an apprentice that has a license.
Could you not hire somebody for super cheap just to drive you around during the day if you got a business?
Most AC,
Cooling business.
if you're putting in AC units, it's a crew. It's not one guy.
All right. Well, the jail is not an appropriate place for rehab or detox. So I'm not going to keep you in jail on a bond. I'm going to release you on your own recognizance on the condition that you not consume any alcohol or drugs while this bond is in place.
It's Friday.
The case itself will be randomly assigned to a judge and set for a trial. Until and unless an attorney gets involved, all notices will go to you to the address that's on your bond. So if you put down that Blue Jay Road address, be 100% sure you can get mail there. The other thing is, as I mentioned, jail is not the place for substance abuse treatment. Substance abuse treatment providers are. You don't have to be under a court order to go have an assessment done or complete an intake appointment. We have plenty of agencies here in Licking County, including LAP, Shepherd Hill, Brightview. There's a number of options. So I would strongly recommend, if you're telling me that that's an issue you're struggling with, that you deal with that immediately upon being released, as opposed to waiting for the court to make you do something. Understand?
Yeah.
All right. Well, Mr. Binion, do you have any other questions today?
No, that's it.
You're going
Thank
to
you,
go
Your
court
Honor.
appointed, get an application from the jail, but since you're getting out, you have to get it turned in. They won't do it for you. Don't wait until the day of trial to deal with getting an attorney. But
All
for
right,
now,
thank you.
you may go with the officer. Thank you.
In a way, is jail not good for drying out? I mean, you let them go on a
Okay,
Friday.
Next up, we have
Party time.
Kyle
Eat some
Elkins.
corn.
Yes, Your Honor.
Good afternoon, sir.
Mikey's
You,
doing
Mr.
coke
Elkins?
to get it through the
Yes,
day
Your
to
Honor.
day.
All right, Mr. Elkins, you too are here because Judge George issued warrants for your arrest when you failed to appear for trial. It looks like those warrants went out after you failed to appear for trial in July of last year. So what we're going to do today is we're going to go ahead and set bonds for you. That's the only authority I have since they're already assigned to Judge George. What is your current address?
712 Stone Ridge Way.
City and state?
Newark, Ohio.
Zip
Do
code,
you live
please.
there, or is that a mailing address?
I live there, Your Honor.
And who do you live there with?
My grandmother.
Are you employed?
Poor grandma.
I am, Your Honor.
And where do you work?
At Don and Sue's Pizza on Church Street.
And how long have you worked there?
Well, I actually just moved back I went to Portsmouth to get clean. And once I hit a year, I moved back to Newark to help take care of my grandmother. She's aging and has issues. I honestly forgot about these charges. I'm not gonna lie, I was doing drugs when I caught them. I don't really even remember it all happening. I do apologize for this. I like I said, I've got 13 months clean. I would just like to get my life together.
This is county jail in Licking, Ohio.
Where'd you get arrested?
I don't know.
I
don't
get that in
remember.
prison, but
No, I mean, where did you get arrested yesterday or last night?
Oh, I was driving home from work and they just ran my plates. I didn't catch a new charge. They just stopped me, and because I finally have a license and insurance, the car was registered to me, and they said, "Hey, you got warrants."
there was
Yeah,
some
they didn't put that in the
canoodling
warrants
happening
where
in
they
the
stopped
pews
you.
just a
That's
second
New
ago.
Albany pulled you over?
No, this was in Newark. They took me to New Albany because I guess that's where the previous charges were out of. And then New Albany brought me back to Newark. A long night.
Oh, I'm
When did
so
you get to
sorry.
jail?
Sorry.
Inconvenience.
About 2 a.m.
I mean, look at his ears.
It's about a
Anything else you want to say before I set bond here?
No, Your Honor.
Well, I hope what you're telling me about being clean and for the time that you mentioned is absolutely true, and I have no reason to doubt you. But I'm going to defer to Judge George's judgment when it comes to setting bonds today on your cases, because he did set bonds on the warrants. On the possessing drug abuse instruments charge, he set a bond of $2,000 cash surety or 10%, and I'll leave the bond in that amount with the condition that you not consume any alcohol or illegal drugs, and I'll refer the matter back to him for a new court date. He set a
Shadow?
recognizance bond on your traffic ticket, so I'll also set that as a recognizance bond. If you are able to post the bond, make sure you show up for future court dates, because if you don't, it's just going to end up making things worse. All right?
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you very much.
Do you have any other questions today, Mr. Elkins?
So I can post 10%, so 10% through a bond company.
$5 Friday, ladies and gentlemen.
From the folks down there at the jail, as
Oh,
far
sorry.
as how you can
Sorry,
contact
Your Honor.
folks, how much you'd have to pay. But other than that, any other questions?
No, Your Honor.
Very well, Mr. Elkins. You may go with the officer. Good luck to you.
Can we get
By
some
the way,
paper in here, please?
Very well.
Shadow, we have a really good chance of some meltdowns with a good-looking crowd in the church pews today.
Good afternoon, Mr. Gillum. You understand your rights today?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm very high on meth. What?
You have a warrant out from Judge George. You have a warrant out from me.
Shocker.
And you have a new charge.
All
So we need
right.
to go ahead and address the new charge and then set bonds on the old ones so we can get the ball rolling on these things again. So
Let's get mouth
let me
free.
back things up. If I didn't ask you already, do you understand your rights?
Yes, sir.
And did you receive a copy of the new complaint?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, the Newark Police Department is alleging that you committed the offense of obstructing official business. Yet, actually, today at some point, according to the narrative or the uniform incident report, it looks like they're saying it happened around almost 2 a.m. That charge is a second-degree misdemeanor, carries up to 90 days in jail, up to a $750 fine.
The golden
Are you
hour,
okay?
apparently, in Licking County. 2 a.m.
Not guilty.
All right. What is your current address?
This guy's great.
3433 Shepherd Avenue.
What's the name of the street?
Shepherd Avenue.
And in what town is that?
Millersport.
He's about to pass out. He's gonna fall out.
You know what the
He's
zip
going
is out
down.
there?
He's just tired like Stoney.
430. I'm just gonna put no.
All right. Well, maybe we can look that up.
I tried
Are you employed, Mr. Gill?
earlier and it didn't work. It just didn't work out. I
Are you
tried.
employed? Do you have a job?
No, sir.
Yeah, he's a little tired. Nodding off a little bit. Had a long night.
All right, I'll enter your not guilty plea on that charge. We need to talk about bonds on your other cases. Your case with me is an obstructing charge as well. It looks like we were scheduled for a trial back in November, maybe even more recently than that. Yeah, I think we did.
He's strictly boneless.
January maybe, and then even more recently than that. So let's see here. Looks like most recently in July. Anything you want to say about why you weren't able to make it to court?
It was really high.
No, sir.
Jeez, look how he's laying.
Oh my god.
Armless.
Yeah, no, he's
How
certainly.
old are you, Mr. Gillum?
18.
How are the charges
Say
drugs?
19?
18.
18, okay. Got a birthday coming up next month?
Yeah.
I wish everybody could just be quiet for like 3 or 4 minutes, just no noise whatsoever, just to see what he does.
Yeah.
He's ready for a fun night of partying in the clink. Is he hanging out in Alex's basement?
He didn't even have any drug charges. I find that so hard to believe.
It's because he took them all. What do you mean?
He looks like an obstructor.
Okay, so on the cases you had warrants, Judge George's warrant had a $2,000 cash surety or 10% bond. I'll leave bond in that amount with the added condition that you're not consuming alcohol or drugs. The warrant that I issued for your arrest on my old case was $2,500. I'll leave it in that amount with the added condition of no consumption of alcohol or drugs. And then on the new charge, it'll be a $1,500 cash surety or 10% bond with the condition of no consumption of alcohol and drugs. Now, the two old cases will be reset by the respective judges.
I got to see that.
And then the new charge will be randomly assigned and set for trial.
Or
I don't
Narcan.
believe that you have an attorney representing
One
you on
step
any
away
of
from
these at this
Narcan.
point. And if you want that to happen, you need to fill out an application, which you can get from down there at the jail. If you're unable to post your bonds and you're going to be stuck down there, they'll set it here for you. If you do get out, however, you have to turn it in. Your case with me rather is from September of last year. So if you show up on the day of trial and ask for a continuance for an attorney, just be advised the answer will be no on that date. You've had more than enough time to do that. But, these cases need to get resolved. Any questions today, sir?
No, sir.
Very well.
Better get some sleep,
Go with the
please.
officer. Thank you. Jeanette Morgan.
Hi, Judge Stansbury.
Hello, Ms. Morgan. How are you today?
Long time no see.
Pretty good.
All right. Probably
This is
been better.
neighbor.
I mean, you're sitting down there at the jail, right?
Yeah.
All right. So Judge George has a warrant out for your arrest from May. It looks like you had a bench trial scheduled at that time.
Hello, Hugh.
So all I can do today, as far as my authority is concerned, is simply set a bond for you and get it back to him. So what is your current address?
470 Edgemont Road.
Okay. So it's never changed, right?
No, it was 465 Edgemont Road.
All right.
She moved as far as
the
Carol
address on
moved.
your complaint is 470, and the most
4 houses
recent
down
bond
across the
that you
street.
executed was also 470. So and it says that's in care of somebody. I don't need to name that particular individual. Do you use that as a mailing address, or do you actually live there?
I actually live there now.
Okay.
It was mailing address.
Okay. All right. Well, when Judge George issued the warrant for your arrest, he set bond in the amount of $2,000 cash or 10%. I'm more than willing to listen to what you have to say about why you didn't make it to court a few months ago. But be advised, I typically will, defer to the issuing judge unless there's a compelling reason not to. Anything you want to say?
I'm confused because the first time I was arrested, the only time I was arrested, I was charged with criminal trespassing, and it was my apartment at 465 Edgemont where I was. I wasn't taken to jail because I was refused because there were no beds.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So just recently I had to have the police come to 470 Edgemont Road, and as it turns out, they deferred me to the hospital. So I was taken to the hospital by ambulance. And since I had not been to court for the criminal trespassing, they went ahead and gave me a new sheet of paper and signed it and said I would get another court date. And now they're telling me that it's disorderly conduct.
It's always been disorderly conduct. This was filed back on September the 29th of 2020. They may have arrested you on suspicion of criminal trespass, but ultimately it's up to the prosecutor's office to decide what charge actually gets filed. And I don't know if I don't think you actually got a copy of the complaint.
I'm happy. I wouldn't be
can read it to you
surprised
real
the
quick
way
just
they
so
let
that we
people
can,
out of jail as quick as they do. I don't think they have
make
the
sure that we're
room,
on the same page.
staff.
Here. So
Okay, because there's also a domestic violence in the computers for the same thing that I'm here
What?
I
today
don't
about.
have that in front of me, but I can tell you that the Newark Police Department
She claimed you'd only been arrested one time.
2020 within the city of Newark and Lincoln County, Ohio, alleged that you, Jeanette Morgan, while voluntarily intoxicated in a public place or in the presence of 2 or more persons, engaged in conduct likely to be offensive or to cause inconvenience, annoyance, or alarm to persons of ordinary sensibilities, which conduct the offender, if she were not intoxicated, should know is likely to have that effect on others, and after being advised to desist. So basically, it's disorderly intoxicated and persisting. It's an M4. It's up to 30 days, up to a $250 fine. So is there any, it looks like the last time you got picked up on a warrant, it was on May the 2nd of this year. You signed off on it and written on the bond, and I will give you the benefit of the doubt here because it's in a different color ink and everything else. Although it is written, it matches what the
colored pencils,
what the sergeant down at the jail used. It clearly told you that you were supposed to be in court the next day at 12:45, and when you weren't, I actually even gave you more of the benefit of the doubt, and instead of issuing a warrant right away, just went ahead and continued that OR bond in order that the matter be referred back to Judge George and set for trial. And then that's when you didn't show up and the new warrant went out. All right.
I had gotten out of the hospital at like 4 o'clock that afternoon.
Now,
I didn't even get
I'm
home
always
from
upfront with you.
Columbus.
That excuse would carry more weight with me if you had then tried to reach out to the court the following day, but you didn't.
Right. That was a Saturday, I believe. Yeah. Okay.
So where were you when
Nice
you got
try,
arrested
though.
yesterday?
I didn't get arrested. I turned myself in.
Yeah, it looks like you did. Yeah, it lists your arrest location of your arrest as 155 East Main Street. So that is going to be
No,
the compelling.
I turned my. Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah, I was here. I brought myself to the sheriff's department.
They all start looking
Well, that's going to be
familiar
the
after a while.
compelling
So
reason why I find that under these circumstances, it's not appropriate to defer to Judge George. Since you voluntarily surrendered yourself on the warrant, I will go ahead and I'm going to release you on a recognizance bond today. But I do want to be clear, because this case is so old, and frankly, if I were Judge George and I saw what I did, I'd probably be mad at me. But if you fail to appear again, I want to be upfront with you. You're not getting an OR bond next time, okay?
Understood.
No matter what the circumstances are. This is not a serious charge. It's something that needs to be dealt with, resolved, and the sooner you get in front of Judge George, the sooner that'll happen. Notices are going to go directly to you unless you get a lawyer. You can fill out an application for counsel. They have them at the jail, but since you're being released, and let me verify that you don't have any holders.
Keep an eye on the crowd with the happy couple back there. They're seriously like all over each other, like they're teens in high school or something
So
on
you
a
have
date.
holders, which means if you are going to make that application, you have to turn it in. All right.
All right.
The main thing is don't wait until the day of trial, because I guarantee you, if your case was assigned to me on a 2-year-old case and you wanted a continuance for counsel, I'd say no. I got to believe Judge George is probably the same mindset. But that being said, just get this taken care of. All right.
Yes.
All right, Miss Morgan.
I want to know more
Thank you.
if they screwed that up or not.
And I did pay on my fines also. I just wanted that. I put $500 on them.
Okay. Thank you very much.
That's what it sounded
All
like,
right, thank
though, that she turned herself in, but yet they wrote it down
Ashley
that she was
Powell.
picked up. There's a big difference between that.
They let her out one day and she was supposed to be in court the next.
And Ms. Powell, do you understand your rights in court today?
Yes, Your Honor.
No.
Did you receive a copy of the 2
No,
complaints that were filed against you?
she was trying to say
Did you read those? Do you understand what?
she was trying to say that.
Uh-huh.
But then she goes, "Oh wait, it was on a Saturday that I was let out."
Each of those offenses is a
Yeah.
misdemeanor.
She was
before-
trying to work that one.
So each carries up to 30 days jail, up to a
If-
$250.
if I heard that
fine.
right.
How do you want to plead?
Well, Your Honor, I know that I am guilty, but I would like to plead not guilty and request.
No problem with that.
Please.
We have guilty people plead not guilty every single day.
Well, the reasoning is because I would like to request an OR bond because
Hey, now.
I have a job currently. I work at Engineer Profiles. I'm the lead in my position. I do have to be at work tomorrow night. I'm off tonight, but I do have to be there tomorrow. I am not proud of my actions at all. I messed up. Like that's all
Before
there
we
is to it.
start
I drank
confessing
too
to
much.
kidnapping the Lindbergh baby, let's slow down a minute, all right?
Sorry. I'm sorry.
That's all right. What is your address?
5095 Periwinkle Court, Groveport, Ohio.
And you live there or you use that as a mailing address?
No, I live there.
And who do you live there with?
I live there
You said you are employed. Where do you work?
with my Engineer Profiles in
And what
Columbus.
do they do?
It's a plastic extrusion company. So I'm lead in fabrication. They extrude plastic out of these huge extruders. They ship it over to my department. My
Yeah, you guys have seen Roseanne before, right? That's where they used to
department
work.
make Anderson windows.
That was also in Ohio.
Siding, all kinds of plastic.
They used to make
How long have you worked there?
plastic forks and
I've
such.
worked there for a year and 8 months.
Let me take a quick look here at the file.
You'll
where
be in
I
hell.
will make a decision about your bond. All right.
Yes, sir. Oh, no.
I like that she started with she was guilty. Strange play.
Oh, do you have any? In normal places, this is Licking County, though. This is do whatever you want. I mean, was it just yesterday where the two people that weren't supposed to be together showed up together, and then she interpreted for him?
That is correct.
Some crazy shit here in Licking County. Let me tell you that. Speaking of crazy stuff, Florida Friday today on We Got a Chase 405 East 105 Pacific time. I heard it's very good and no pooping again.
Zero pooping. Another poop-free show. 2 days in a row. What a win. What a win.
All right. So if you live in Groveport, how'd you get to
pretty
Newark
close.
yesterday?
My sister came and picked me up.
And why did you come to Newark yesterday?
My nephew's graduation from kindergarten is today, and yeah, I don't have a license yet. I only have a permit. So she came and picked me up. I was going to stay the night with her. We were going to go to his graduation today, but tequila got involved and bad choices were made, and I'm sorry.
We're at that really cool bar over there that we looked up that time. Tequila. At least he's honest.
I am going to go ahead and release you on your own recognizance today on the condition that you not consume any more tequila or any other alcohol or drugs.
That is an absolute deal. Promise.
Well, yeah, you can promise all you want. It's just don't do it, because if you do, then your bond gets revoked and you sit in the jail until the case is resolved. It's going to get randomly assigned to a judge set for a trial. You're going to get notice by mail of when
Yeah,
that's
it's
going to be. If you get a
2022.
lawyer, either by hiring one or getting court-appointed counsel, all the notices are going to go directly to the attorney, who will in turn notify you. So it's important that you stay in close contact with the lawyer. You can get the application form for court-appointed counsel down there at the jail. However, they're going to process you out over the course of the next several hours, and they will not submit your application for you. So it's important that you get that turned in.
That kid's real smart.
Like Franklin County, as you probably well know, we don't have a public defender. They don't magically appear at your next court date. You have to take affirmative steps to get an attorney. So do that. Do not wait until the day of trial to deal with getting a lawyer. Understand?
I have one question. Would you recommend that I get an attorney on these charges? Because I feel like I need to own up to them when I do go to court and just.
Well, number one, I can't give you legal advice, but I can make the observation that sometimes, more often than not, guilty people need a lawyer more than innocent people do. So that's entirely up to you. All right?
Thank
Any other
you.
questions?
No.
Very well. You may go with the officer. Thank you, Ms. Powell. Good luck.
Maybe her nephew is either A, really smart, and they already graduating them first day of school.
All right. Next
or
we have
summer
Kyle
school.
Brocious. Good afternoon. You're Mr. Brocious, correct?
Yes, sir.
And do you understand your rights in court today?
Yes, sir.
All right. You have two cases, one of which is old and belongs to Judge George, and he's issued a warrant for your arrest, and I'm going to set a bond for you there, and we're going to get that back in front of Judge George. But you do have new charges. Did they give you copies of the two complaints that were filed in the new case?
Yes.
Did you read those? You understand what it is you've been charged with?
Yes.
You've been charged with one count of menacing, one count of criminal trespass. These are alleged to have occurred within Union Township, Lincoln County, Ohio, yesterday. Each charge carries up to 30 days in jail, up to a $250 fine. How do you want to plead?
Not guilty.
And what is your current address?
14 Robertson Drive.
City and state?
Uh-oh.
Union Township.
How about Heath? Does Heath sound right?
Yeah,
Okay. Now, do you live there or do you use that as a mailing address?
Fine.
I live there.
And who do you live there with?
My spouse and her family.
Okay. Are you employed, Mr. Brocious?
No, sir.
Do you receive disability benefits or are you unemployed?
I'm unemployed.
And when's the last time you were working regularly?
It's been a little while, sir.
Okay. And what kind of work were you doing at your last job?
The last job I was working at AutoZone.
You were what? I'm sorry?
Working at AutoZone.
AutoZone. Okay.
Get in the
All right,
zone.
let me take a quick look here at the files and then we're going to talk about your bond. So bear with me 1 second, okay?
While he's looking at that, this guy seemed very confused about where he lived. Then we were trying to ask him about his job. He seemed very confused about that. At first, I thought maybe he had never had a job because he seemed like he was grasping at straws for every answer. I don't trust him. I think he might lie to us. He's in a fog, maybe. A big old fog. I think he's lying. I really do. I think he's full of shit. Maybe he's still drunk. He's got to be. And, let's hear it for the boy. He lives with his spouse and her parents. Must be a good time.
All right. Now, it's probably not wise to get into what may or may not have happened that led to your arrest yesterday because everything's being recorded, could be used against you. But is there anything you want to say as it relates to bond?
No, sir.
Well said. They've all been tranquilized in the back. That's it. We broke the code today. Say something,
Now,
son.
in your old case, looks like that warrant went out, and that's from November of 2020, by the way. It looks like the warrant went out for your arrest on that old case back in, let me get to it. Looks like it was issued September 9th of last year. When Judge George issued the warrant, he set bond at 2,000, cash surety or 10%. Anything you want to say before I decide whether to defer to him or to put in a different amount?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Throw the book at him, Judge. Mutual Omaha is people you can trust when the going's tough.
Did you ever, I don't think you ever had an attorney on the old case with Judge George. Well, you're eligible to apply on both of these cases. You only need to fill out one application, but you need to put both the case numbers down, and you can get those numbers from the folks at the jail. On the old case with Judge George, I am going to defer to him, set it at 2,000, cash surety 10%, no alcohol, no drugs. On the new charge, it'll be a $1,500 bond, cash surety or 10%. Again, a prohibition on consumption of alcohol or drugs. I'll also put on a no contact order with the alleged victim. So the new case will be randomly assigned to a judge, set for a trial. We'll get you notice in the mail until and unless a lawyer gets involved. The old case is going to get referred back to Judge George for a new date. If you're still in jail at the time of your next court dates, we will get you over here to the municipal building to appear personally. Any questions today, Mr. Brocious?
No, sir.
All right, you may go with the officer, sir. Thank you very much.
He was great.
He was a ball of energy.
That's all I've got from your end.
All right.
Courtroom.
One of the pews.
Yeah, that's it. Thank you.
All right,
Good
you have a
weekend.
There she
Tell
is.
folks down there to take it easy.
See you Monday.
All right.
Yes.
I feel like I feel like I work. See, this is
All right, folks, thanks for your patience.
She heard.
You're appearing here for the
Such
first
a good-
time. Kind
good
of got a
one.
preview of how your arraignment's going to go, except you're here and they're there, so it's much better for you. Now, when I call your name, you're going to come up here to the bench right here in front of me. I'm going to ask you for your rights in court form. That's the one that should have your initials in the boxes next to each paragraph. Your signature at least once at the end. I need to verify that at some point you
Probably
got a
kept
copy
him
of
for
your
last because he
complaint or
was
your ticket.
sleeping like the
It's
other
not
one.
required or necessary.
Wake him up.
With you, so if you don't freak out. If you do, don't feel compelled to pull it out when I ask if you got a copy, because if you
I
am going to believe you. Now, once we've
I
gotten
think
through
we've
those
got a good
formalities,
crowd
we've got three
today
options
here.
as far as entering a plea.
How many of these
Not
people
guilty,
are for
guilty,
dog
You don't
registration?
want to be found guilty,
3.
convicted, and sentenced today. Do not
3
plead
of
no
them.
contest. Plead not guilty. A no contest
my
plea
guess.
doesn't admit guilt. True. Cannot be used against you later on in any civil or criminal proceedings.
Seriously,
True.
they're one step away from making
but it
out
does
like, the
admit
whole
truth
time.
of the facts of the
Look at
alleged
that bracelet he's got on.
They're in this file here in your case, support whatever it is you're charged with. I'm
Interesting.
going to find you guilty. So
It's a healing
yeah,
star.
you get to make a statement before I make any decisions.
Healing
Actually,
powers.
I'm gonna
Got
talk
that
to you
across the street
later,
from
right?
the Alamo last time they were on
Plead not
vacation.
guilty. Your case gets randomly assigned to a judge. I know you guys heard that. We tell this to everybody, but I'll tell you again. Gets set for a trial, and you get noticed by mail because, frankly, I'd be shocked if any of you walk out of here either on other than a recognizance bond or a continuation of a posted bond.
That's good to hear.
When you leave here after pleading not guilty, you go to the clerk's office. Well, everybody does, but for those of you who plead not guilty, you'll be taken down there to sign off on bond paperwork. In the upper left-hand corner, and you don't have the paperwork yet, you will down there.
Well, Chris,
will be
just
your
in time
address.
for the
We'll
pew
take a
subjects.
blink of an eye to look at that and make sure that it's current, complete, and correct, and including any apartment numbers or letters, PO
You're
box,
doing well in the North Plate.
northeast, what have you. Make sure that the address is complete and correct, because if it's not, you're probably not going to get your notice because it'll go to the wrong address. If you don't get your notice, you're probably not going to show up for court. And if you don't show up for court, we are
It's
definitely
funny how
gonna
this
issue
is
a
a
warrant of
whole
arrest.
different class
And
of
I think we
people
can
that
all
are
agree that's a really
here in
stupid
person.
reason to be in jail.
You know, it's
Now, you can also
little step
track your
up,
own case online
usually.
with LC
Yeah.
Municipal.
I've often wondered, like, some of these people seem like they should have been in jail, but they're not.
Link to it
Yeah.
where you can look up
I'm like,
your-
oh, no problem.
Sure, frankly,
OR bond.
There's no acceptable or legitimate excuse to miss court because you didn't know when it was. All right. We live in the age of information, among many other things, but information certainly. Now, on the day of your trial, if you say, I just want to plead guilty or no contest, judge, you can do that. You're not going to get a harsher sentence because you
not
didn't
sure,
know.
Jay. I did
But
just
you will
there's a
get some
lot of
additional
them
court costs, so be advised
that
of
come
that.
through.
If you intend to go to trial that day and represent yourself, bring all the evidence that you want the court to consider with you, including any witnesses that you want the court to hear from, because you cannot testify as to what somebody else said. That's called hearsay, and anybody who's watched an episode of Law and Order knows that that's not allowed in. If you
Law and
have,
Order TV show reference,
photographs
love it.
or video that you've taken with your phone, print out hard copies of the pictures, download the video to a flash drive or a DVD, because if you don't and you leave it on your phone and you want it admitted into evidence, you have to admit your phone into evidence, and I have to keep evidence for 50 years. So I don't want to keep your phone for 50 years. I won't be here for 50 years. I don't know whether you will be or not, but if you...
We've heard him say that before, but not during this. Usually just during trials.
Now, if you plead guilty, you admit that you did whatever it is they said that you did, I will I'll find you guilty today under almost all circumstances, enter a conviction, sentence you, and we'll be done. And if that's how you want to resolve your case, that's fine. You can do that.
I like
Be 100%
turtles.
sure
Hello, Mayor Mary.
We already talked about what a no contest.
He does some
plea is.
good dad jokes too.
The only other thing I really want to talk to you guys about is lawyers, I guess. And I said this.
Well, he says the rest of this, which we've heard a million times. Don't forget, members only tonight, 6 o'clock. We got some poor sports stuff.
Yay.
And also a walkthrough Sturgis, which I think is going to be kind of fun. 6 o'clock East.
Fill out the application anyway, because if you qualify, you're going to have a lawyer no matter what. If you are in fact able to afford retaining private counsel, they'll come in, they'll take over. The court-appointed counsels out the window. In the much more likely scenario that you don't have the necessary funds to retain the services of an attorney, and let's face it, I mean, it's not cheap, but that, it is what it is.
Is it just in a talkative mood today, or is this taking way long?
He never, ever, ever talks this long.
No.
When he goes to people in there, unless they didn't do instructions ahead of time like they're supposed to.
So can I get a continuance and get court-appointed counsel? If your case is assigned to me, it's very, very possible I will tell you no. And then I'll remind you of this friendly little lecture we had in chat, because let's face it, it's not a chat, it's a lecture. If you want
$5 Friday. Thank you, Dave.
but let's not play games and wait till the day of trial.
Bring it on.
Everybody's schedule and everything else. Besides, it just makes things worse for you too. That being said, if you have any questions, feel free to ask when you're up here. First case today is going to be Justin Crawford.
Did he just reference YouTube?
Counsel, you want to come on up? Good afternoon, Mr. Bassi. Does your client understand his rights in court today?
Yes, he does.
And does he want to acknowledge receipt of the attorney?
Yes.
And,
Oh, wow.
waive reading?
Yes.
And how does he wish to plead?
Enter a plea of not guilty.
What is your current address, Mr. Crawford?
8496 White Hawk Loop.
White Hawk.
8496 what?
White Hawk Loop.
Is that two different words?
One word.
One word.
Nah, he's way too chipper. The meth is
And
going
what city
through
and
the
state?
Licking County Jail right now. Is
Real downer.
yeah.
3004.
All right. Let me take a quick look here at the file, and then I'll give you an opportunity to address Don.
I'm gonna guess he's not one of the three with the dog thing today.
No. But the lady did have a dog thing yesterday and an attorney.
It's true. Good point. Hello, Shelly.
Shelly. Shelly, a proud member. You can become one too. Hit the join button.
As little as $3 a month, I think.
That's what I've heard.
Captain Happy, I thought that's what he said. I love it. I love it. I've never heard him ever reference the fact that they're live on YouTube.
No, nobody's ever watching. Are you kidding?
It's true.
Stansberry, can we get a shout out if you've seen these videos?
Please, my God.
Oh, that'd make my day. Can you get
Oh.
Sue to say something?
Yeah, I was thinking. So Sue is like our Debbie Davis, like so. But Law Talk with Mike, Debbie Davis, right? Deborah Davis.
Mm-hmm.
We have Sue.
Are you representing
So-
Mr. Crawford in the DR proceedings?
I am not.
Take that.
Does he have active counsel for that? All right.
I want
what
Sue
do
to
you wanna
come
say
out
about Bond?
sometime.
Your Honor, he's here today.
Imagine
It's a
this-
nonviolent offense. We'd ask for a license bond.
Imagine the stories that Sue has
he was summoned,
happens
so-
behind the scenes
Sounds
there.
like he's turned himself in on a warrant.
Well, there's some breaking news.
They said she wasn't going to make it last night. They were just trying to figure out what organs of hers were any good. But you
I
gotta
forgot the breaking news stinger.
Mr. Crawford on his own recognizance under two conditions. Number one, he's to abide by all terms and conditions of any active CPO that's in effect in which he's the named respondent. And furthermore, he's not to be in possession of any firearms or any other deadly weapons. Mr. Crawford, this case will be randomly assigned to a judge and set for a trial. Mr. Bassi here will get notice because he's made a formal appearance on your behalf. So all notices of future dates go through him. It's important you stay in very close contact with him in order to get the best possible outcome. Need to address today?
No, Judge, have a good afternoon.
All right, you do
I gotta laugh because it seems
All right,
whenever
time to
somebody
play.
has a lawyer, things are handled so
Glenn,
differently
come on up.
in this court too. It's
All right, Mr. Glenn, you understand your rights?
Yeah. Is this the paper?
That's it. Thank you.
He's a winner already.
They issued a warrant for your arrest last month. You have a couple of options here. Because your case was assigned to me, you can change your pleas from not guilty to guilty or no contest and wrap this up today. Your speeding ticket is a minor misdemeanor. Your traffic or your, driver's license offense is an unclassified misdemeanor. So neither of the charges carry any jail time.
Was it
You can also
25
stay
miles
on
an
your
hour
pleas
over the
and not
speed limit?
guilty.
Only like 50
Also,
bucks
we'll
there.
set a bond for you today. We'll get a new court date. So what do you want to do?
I don't like that.
I was originally thinking all that was left was the speeding ticket, because remember when her last name's Cox, right? Did I say that right? It's
It was
COX.
Mr. Cox was.
Mr.
Yeah,
Cox?
he was assigned.
Well, I forgot her name, but she was in here and she was like, we're going to go ahead and dismiss the driving without a license. So all I had left was the speeding ticket. So I figured it was just a payable offense. And then my boss gets a hold of me while I'm driving and tells me, hey, Thomas, what'd you do? Your license is suspended. And then we find out that I missed court and that I still got charged for that. Now he wants me to retain a lawyer and try to get the speeding ticket dropped. So I'm just going to do what he tells me to do.
That's fine. I'm looking through the file, and so far I have not found any motions to dismiss the driver's license offense. So I believe that's still pending. But obviously, if you get an attorney, your attorney can hash that out with Mr. Cox.
That was the original. Originally she did.
Well, you were eligible back then for the prosecutor's policy of dismissing the license charge in exchange for a willingness to pay court costs if they were able to verify that you were valid at your next court date. Now, whether that happened or not, I don't know.
She did. She even told you in the courtroom that I was valid.
And that may very well be true. I have no reason to disbelieve you. I don't have an entry dismissing it, though. So maybe it's because you left without actually addressing anything else that they held off on filing anything. I don't know. But either way, what's your current address?
We're using 87 Front Street, Building 3. That's my place of employment. So
We're using.
if anything happens, I know I can get the paperwork from there.
And if that doesn't work, just send it over to that iPlace I used to work at a couple of years ago. I think they'll still take my
I'm
mail.
not sure what the zip is on.
Might as well.
If you don't have it, we send it out. You don't get it, you're probably not going to show up, and then you get a new warrant.
Right.
Why can the court
And
system not
I was
update their
told to
shit and
ask
email people and
about
text them and things?
4-05 form or something, or script.
I don't know what that is. So
Yeah, you're right. Hit side boob, total hand on side
if
boob
you're
right
going to
now.
be retaining,
Oh yeah, he's got a handful, baby.
all right.
They said the court says that they've been receiving mail. My mail's been coming back, and that's because they. I'm sure you know what's been going on with the housing. How landlords are putting people out. And
I thought
raising rent.
I thought I heard something thumping wood earlier.
Well, you'll be released on your own recognizance for two reasons. Number one, you showed up voluntarily to address your warrant, and number two, because there's no jail time associated with the charge, I'm not going to hold you in jail pending the resolution of the case. It's going to be rescheduled until and unless an attorney makes a formal appearance on your behalf by filing the necessary paperwork. All notices will go directly to you, to the address that's on your bond. So if you brought your phone, it's time to look up the zip code and find out what it is for that address. All right.
Yeah, I will.
All right. So any other questions today?
No, sir.
All right. Tell you what, have a seat where you were before. The bell's going to be with you in a moment, and I will see you at your next court.
That's a member now. Look at that.
Hey, where are the white women at?
William Clark.
Hey now,
Sweet to know.
getting the hand sanitizer out.
They put a suspension. There was a
Oh,
suspension
kissy,
on my
kissy,
license,
kissy,
and I
Yeah,
drive truck.
when you fail to appear, that we put on what's called a license forfeiture. So you have to deal with this first.
Is there any?
Will they fix it today? Since I
No,
paid
they
the
won't do it today.
reinstatement fee.
They won't do that today because that's separate from whatever it is you may or may not have been under suspension for before. That was as a failure, a result of your failure to appear. So you can submit a written request today to terminate the license forfeiture that was issued in this case, and I'll take that under advisement and make a decision, and you'll be told what that is. All right?
I can do that today.
You
I
can
gotta
submit the
write
written
it out.
request to have that forfeiture terminated. And then I'm not saying it will be or it won't be, but that's how you go about trying to make it go away.
All right, thank you.
Go ahead and
Yeah,
have a seat.
'cause I really don't know what's my job.
Understood.
Is there
Mr. Clark, come on up.
any way that Judge Stansbury doesn't see what's going
Good afternoon,
on
sir.
in those pews?
You understand your rights in court today?
Yes, sir.
Do you
All
think
right.
they're
You were here because I issued a warrant for your arrest. Back when you pled guilty to this driving under a license forfeiture charge in May of the year 2020, I ordered that you perform, in addition to imposing a fine and cost, I ordered that you perform 20 hours of community service within 90 days of, actually, I think it was.
Is it only 67? Seriously?
Yep.
It's alleged that you failed to complete those hours, and as a result of that, a motion for, it's called a show cause hearing, which is misleading because you don't have to prove anything. But basically, you're accused of being in contempt of the court's order to perform those hours. If you're to be found
Slightly
in
warmer
contempt
here.
of the order,
Just
the maximum
slightly.
penalty that you would face would be up to 30 days in jail, up to a $250 fine. But you also have all the same rights that you would, as if, say, you were charged with criminal trespass. You have a right to an attorney or court appointed if you couldn't afford your own and you qualified. You have a right to a trial to the court only, not with the judge or not with the jury under these circumstances. And then all the rights that you would normally have at trial. So do you understand what the accusation is?
Yes, sir.
And if you admit, that means you say, yeah, you're right, I didn't do it.
Self-Jackson.
And we could proceed to disposition. I could continue it without actually finding you in contempt to give you a chance to actually do the hours to avoid being found in contempt. Or I could just say, hey, no harm, no foul, go have a good day, which probably won't happen. If you deny, that's like pleading not guilty, in which case I'll go ahead and cut you loose on a recognizance bond today, and we'll get a contested hearing down the road. If you want to get a lawyer, we'll go ahead and do a denial today. Do you want to get a lawyer on this?
Actually, sir, I wanted to explain the case before I played it.
You can do that, but be advised, everything you say is
I
being
understand.
recorded and could be used against you. So what is it you'd like to say?
I received the active warrant apartment release of my incarceration. I was in prison for 2 years. So when the court date was at 10:15, and I was incarcerated at 9 instead of 10.
Okay. Well, he's got a pretty good excuse then.
Currently on post.
Ironclad.
So I do have to check in and stuff like that.
Sure.
So I just wanted to make sure.
And he's found religion. He's Amish now.
So what was your release date from prison?
April 9th. I mean, August 9th.
Frank?
2020.
August the 9th of 2020?
2022.
Oh, 2022. Okay. When did you go in?
It was in August. I went to court downtown. I mean, at the courthouse in August of 2020.
Okay. So you were already incarcerated at the time that we ordered that you appear for the oral hearing?
Says he a broken man. Listen how he talks.
All right. Well, if you're still interested in doing the hours and avoiding being found in contempt, if you admit, I can continue this without finding to give you a chance to do that. If you want to just admit to it and say, no, I didn't, I would make a decision based upon the circumstances as to whether any penalty should be imposed or not. But it's really up to you how you want to do it. I mean, I get what you're saying.
I mean, I'm guilty of the charges because I have.
Somebody
What I used to call
gift
the old
memberships who didn't say
involuntary
anything.
failure to appear, which is if you're locked up someplace else, you can't show up, and that's not really your fault. But it's also kind of your fault because you got yourself locked up someplace else.
Welcome,
right?
Shelley.
Okay. So it's up to you. You have to decide. So do you want to admit that you didn't do the hours?
Yeah, I can admit I didn't do that.
Okay.
I was.
Did you wish to waive your right to a lawyer, waive your right to the trial, and all the other rights?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And
I would like to do what you said.
Okay.
about-
Shalom, shalom.
Have you
Really should
been
refer
threatened
to
in any way?
it
Promised
yesterday.
anything that you to do what you're doing?
No, sir.
Are you under the influence? And are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, sir.
All righty. Let me go ahead and
I would like to say that I've been clean for 2 years.
congratulations.
So
Good.
You were in prison, you dick. That's
Where'd
a
you do your,
they
Oh,
sent
yeah.
me all the way up to Lake Erie.
Did they really?
Person to-
Yeah, come on, you can't celebrate that. You've been in freaking prison.
Yeah. You just said you were in for 2 years and just got out.
Lebanon.
I heard it was better than where I was at, though.
It may be. I just had an unpleasant experience at Belmont Correctional once.
People are weird.
All right. And no, I wasn't incarcerated there.
I wasn't going to ask.
Was actually on my way to visit a client that was incarcerated there. And let's just say the prison personnel, despite having pre-scheduled everything. was-
Yeah, at least that's good news.
Okay. They got you working? You got a job yet?
Actually, I'm working with the main place to
Oh,
get
okay.
me my place on my own.
Okay.
Because I'm staying currently with my sister.
Okay.
And
Nothing to do with a job.
I
but
got
okay.
a BHP
Mhm.
appointment on Monday.
Okay.
So I'm trying to get everything that I can to be back in order. And the Friday before I got released, I became ill with cellulitis on my legs.
Oh, geez.
Might end up having to go to the hospital.
Oh, my God.
Well, definitely take care of yourself. All right.
By the
Okay,
way,
so
doing
here's
the
what we
math
do.
properly,
little
there's
bit
only
more than
5 people left in the audience. So
We're gonna
my
have to come back
3
on Wednesday, September
guests with the
24th,
dogs.
3:20 at 10 a.m.
think
Not looking too good, bud.
Cognizance today. And if you get those hours done prior to that date, then what you need to do is you need to turn those into the probation department. And if they confirm that you did the hours, they'll dismiss the contempt and you won't even have to come back.
Easy hole in one, by the
All
way.
right. But you got to get the hours done.
Huge hole.
In the clerk's office.
Hey, you
go all
pass.
the way down to the basement where
Check it
probation
out.
is, not because you're on probation, but because that's who sets this up for you. If you leave today and don't do it, you'll probably forget about it again. And then when you see me on the 21st, I'll probably put you in jail for it because I'll give you the benefit of the doubt on being locked up. But having had one extra opportunity to do it and not take advantage of it, then I'd have to hold you accountable.
All right.
All
Is
right.
that, I mean, do they tell you where you use your?
They tell you where you can.
Dick Harris, we've been watching
big list of different options.
for quite a while
The
now.
main
They've
place,
been,
which I believe is one.
we'll say
So You'll
canoodle.
have to check with them, but
Whatever.
get the hours done. Don't come back and see me, and good luck with getting back into the community. You have any questions? All right, you may go with the bail. Good luck to you.
Let's just say that he's not going to be able
Robert
to.
Broderick.
He's not going to be able to stand up and walk up. He's going to have to sit down for a little while and let it, cool down a little bit.
That'll.
Robert, come on up. You understand your rights in court today?
One spot.
That's
Whoo!
okay. You don't have to sign that. Well, actually, you do. So let's have you sign that. You can use the table over there, but here's a pen.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
My man has no chin. Zero chin. Dick Harris. Thank you. For God's sakes, thank you. Talk amongst yourselves.
Oh yeah, look where her. Oh, look at her hair. Oh my God. Yes, you guys are right. Jesus Christ.
She's doing the tube steak boogie.
Did you just see how she's like?
So
I think it was down to his knee, bud.
Wow. Do you think they're just in there for fun?
So I'm trying to figure
They're
out
big fans of We Got a Case.
why
They
you're
just want to sit there and be in the gallery.
You
Right.
appeared in front of me back
Hey,
on
perfect timing.
July the
Jesus,
29th. Because you wanted a continuance so you could go get an attorney. All right. So today we're going to do an actual pleas to the charges. All right.
My attorney was supposed to be here.
Who is your attorney?
Brian.
It's not Ron. It's not Ron Welch, is it?
No.
Okay, good.
Brian.
No good. He's an asshole. I'm glad he's not your attorney.
Well, I'll tell you what. Why don't we do this? I'm not going to continue it again, but I will enter pleas of not guilty on your behalf and continue your bond that was already set with the same terms and conditions, which is no violent contact with Ms. Young, no weapons, no alcohol, drugs, and the scram unit. Did you get your scram unit put on?
Yes, sir.
All right, good deal. So
After I got out of jail.
okay, good deal. Continued as set on 8/12/22. Reason I got confused on that is because normally most folks don't ask for continuance. You just do a not guilty plea.
How long
today.
until Nude
Obviously,
HD is
this
here
time,
just
so
in time to
it's
grab one of those free memberships?
Oh, that'd be great. We need them in members
The next
only.
court date will be a trial to a judge. You have the right, obviously, to ask for what's called a jury trial. That'll be a discussion that you and your attorney are going to want to have. Now, that person has not filed a formal appearance on your behalf. So at this point, the court considers you not to have a lawyer. So all the notices are going to go directly to you at the address that you put on your bond paperwork, which when I saw you last time, oh, you have Mr. Barth.
Barf?
Okay.
He did have Mr. Puke.
So
Not a very good attorney.
Can you confirm your address for me again?
289 Union Street, apartment C.
C is in Charlie?
Yes.
Okay, very good. Information in there says USMC. Are you a veteran?
For a short time.
Okay, all right, very well. Okay, this case will now be randomly assigned to a judge set for trial. Mr. Barth will receive notice of future court dates, and then you in turn are going to want to stay in close contact with him so you can get the best possible outcome of this. The conditions that I mentioned earlier remain in effect. Do you have any questions?
Yes, I've got 3 witnesses.
And that's a discussion you're going to want to have with your lawyer, because if you're talking about preparing a defense, that's who you want to talk about preparing your defense with. Okay?
Okay.
Very well. You may go with the bailiff. Thank you, Mr. Roderick.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Lisa, is it Keener?
Who?
Is it Keener? All right, Miss Keener, come on up. You understand your rights in court today?
What's up, Red?
Hearing impaired.
Did you understand your rights?
Yes.
Okay.
You
Did
just
you get a
like
copy of your
Wendy.
complaint?
I just did today.
Just today. Did you read it? Do you understand
She
what
might
you've been
be a
charged with?
smoker.
Yes.
You've been charged with a minor misdemeanor charge of disorderly conduct. The maximum penalty that you face is up to a $150 fine. There's no possible jail term associated with this charge. Understand?
Can we get a
How do you
front
wish to
shot?
plead?
Not guilty.
And what is your current address?
400 Washington Street, Apartment 207, North Ohio.
Oh, shut up, Vincent. She doesn't.
Are you employed?
No, I'm on disability.
And what kind of work did you do before you got hurt?
I worked in restaurant engineering. I worked in a craft store for 20 years.
Was it
Did
Joanne's?
you work at Resnoid out at the Newark Industrial Park or the Mid-Ohio Industrial Park?
North,
North.
and the other one too.
Okay. You surprised I knew that there was one in both places?
Yes,
I
I
used-
worked in both.
I used to make deliveries to both
Okay.
for an
Oh,
industrial supply company.
Delivering drugs back in the day.
Okay.
DM Andy, hell yeah.
Okay. Okay. You're going to be released on your own recognizance and notified by mail of your next court date. You should have gotten the entry in which I denied your application for an attorney for the reason that you're not facing any jail time. You have the right to go out and hire a lawyer if you want, but you're not eligible to have the court give you one for free. Okay. All right. So 8.
I like her. She's got money. She's
Do you have
fun.
any other questions today?
Got a job.
Bring all the evidence that you want the court to consider
She's on that
here when
disability
you
now.
come back to court.
A
next week.
hearing
That
problem.
includes any witnesses that you want the court.
Huh?
To all right.
Thank you.
You may go with the bailiff. Thank you. Good luck. Sasha Martin.
She's got a beautiful face.
Is this the one that was having the sex in the pews in the back?
Come on
Eh?
up.
Here she comes.
Surprised he's not coming up there with
Any
her.
rights in court today?
Standing right behind her, giving
Any
her the
rights one,
bowling
please?
ball, if you know
That's
what
the
I mean.
one. Yep, that's it. You did. That says you acknowledged that you were explained all your.
Sorry,
rights
Your
and
Honor,
you
I'm out of
just told
breath,
me that
man.
You do in fact understand them, correct?
Apologize all the sticky
You have 2
pages.
cases that we need to address.
Sorry
One
about
is
that
from
spot
July
I just left on the
14th
pew.
of this year. The other one is from August the 9th of this year. So let's take them in chronological order. On the, let me make sure you've never entered a plea on these.
Hey now.
Did. Now I gotta know.
So you posted a $250 bond to stay out, right?
I'm not exactly sure how much the bond was that he had to pay, but yeah.
Yeah. So you got arrested on the warrant and then you posted the bond and they said, okay, come back tomorrow.
Yeah.
And here you are.
Yes.
That's good. Because if you weren't, I'd be doing a warrant for you right now.
Yeah, that's what he said for me.
And in order that you pay the.
Can we hurry this up? We got babies to make.
In this case, it's actually alleged to have occurred on July the 14th and the 15th. Heath Police Department filed both complaints. They're both criminal trespass. It looks like they're claiming you went to Walmart and you've previously been trespassed from there. Now, they're misdemeanors of the
For
fourth
having
degree.
sex in
Each
the
carries
baby
up to
aisle.
30 days and a $250 fine. You understand that those are the charges that have been filed? Not necessarily why, but you understand that that's what the charges are. How do you want to plead?
Not guilty.
And what's your current address?
What? Holland Street,
And that's in?
Newark. Ohio.
No, I knew that. And you knew that, but you have to say it. for me, all right?
Okay.
How do you plead not guilty to trespass to Walmart?
Are you employed? What do you do?
I'm
Yeah.
a healthcare worker. I work for the passport.
Hey, now.
program, Taking care of my father.
Did you see she was adjusting her bra? He must have unfastened it like all.
You take care of a family member. You get
Yeah, I
compensated
saw
for
her.
that.
She's kind of reaching down too, like she's disheveled a little.
Now, the other
dress
case
girl.
tonight, so a few days ago, that's also a criminal trespass.
Wouldn't it be great if he
It looks
was
like they're also alleging that was
Sitting next to deaf girl now, and just canoodling with her.
I'm not guilty on that. Like,
Okay. You don't have to explain why you're pleading not guilty. Everybody always feels compelled to explain why they're pleading not guilty.
I
You
didn't
don't
even
need-
understand what was arrested yesterday.
Mhm.
I didn't even understand, I didn't understand what for. They didn't even tell me really anything. They just said I had a warrant and they brought me to the county. I had to ask the lady out there, the clerk lady, exactly what my charges were.
Gotcha. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. On the case that you posted bond already, I'm going to leave that bond as posted. So I'm not going to, you don't have to post any more money to stay out of jail on the case, but you don't get the money back just yet. Okay. It will be refunded under the rules of the 10% bond once your case is concluded, whether you win, lose, or draw. The new case, I will go ahead and release you on your own recognizance. Conditions on both of those bonds are going to be that you not return to any Walmart location. All right. So you're going to want to check your circulars and see if
We watched
Dollar
it.
General's having any good specials. All right. No return to Walmart.
It would suck not to be able to
They,
go to
for
Walmart.
whatever reason, did not give you a copy of the complaint from August the 9th, so the record will reflect that I'm handing you your copy now. You're eligible to ask for court-appointed counsel in both of these cases, and if you intend to do so, make sure that you fill out your application, turn it in today. You only need one, but you need both case numbers, and they can give that to you in the clerk's office. So, any questions?
Just
That's the form that you'll need to fill out.
Oh,
And
look,
then we're gonna- not
there's
to hurry.
reasons.
but she will take you
in and out of the place.
Now,
Yeah.
those are not consolidated, and they may not be in the future. So you may end up having two separate.
I forget who
court dates.
said it in
Pay
the
close attention to
chat.
case number
You're
that's on
definitely
there.
right about
One will say 22 CRB and a number, and the other one will say 22 CRB and a different number. So track them like that, but make sure you show up. And if you're not sure whether you're supposed to be here, show up anyway. It's better to be here and not need to be here than the other way around. Because if you show up and you don't need to be here, I gotta believe that's probably one of the best feelings in the world, being saying, "What are you doing at court? You don't have to be here." It's a probably pretty terrible feeling when you're sitting at home going, "Oh no, I was supposed to be in court." All right, you may go with the bailiff. Thank you. All right, Marcus Ball.
Jay.
All right, all right, all right.
Is it him?
No way.
No way.
Good afternoon, Mr. Ball. You doing all right, everything rights? All right. Okay, you're here because I issued a warrant for your arrest 2 days ago.
All right, that sounds good,
We had a
Flusher.
trial scheduled on these traffic charges. You did not appear, so we went ahead and issued the warrant. You obviously
They just
remember that you
met.
had court and came in to deal
I was
with it.
thinking.
All right, so you have a couple of options here. You can stand on your pleas of not guilty, in which case I'll set a bond for you today. We'll get this rescheduled and you can come back for trial. If you want to just wrap it up today by pleading guilty or no contest, you can do that too. I can tell you that
Right.
the two charges, neither carry any potential
salmon.
jail time. The driver's license charge carries the possibility of community service, a fine, and a suspension of your license. The traffic control device is a minor misdemeanor, $150 fine. Understand? So how do you want to
That's what I
proceed?
was thinking.
I'm going to get you the best advice first. I was recently incarcerated, and I didn't pay my reinstatement fee. And that's the reason why my license was suspended.
Mhm.
I didn't know that they were suspended because I was incarcerated. And I
Sure.
never made a.
He just heard the other person say that, so he thought that would be a good, you know.
Only did 9 months.
Mhm.
So taking my license, they actually not expired. So I was driving outside. I caught driving.
Mhm.
I don't want to plead guilty to it because I know if I get my license, then the ticket will be thrown out. So
Well, at this point, they won't dismiss it. Their policy is that if they can verify that you're valid at your next court date, which for you would have been back in July, they would dismiss it at that point. The policy is that if you get it,
my court date back in July, I only have my court date was
That shirt is from the Adam the Woo collection.
would count as your first court date. And so
Yes.
since
Yes.
you weren't there for that and they weren't, I don't know if they ran your name and information right now through the DMV. If let's just
Be
go and
happy
get
he
something
pulled
that's
his
valid.
pants up
The policy
or
after
zipped
the
up,
first
but
court date set
hanging
is
out.
they won't dismiss the charge, but they will recommend that the court impose no fine, only court costs. So if you want to take advantage of that, then you can stand on your pleas of not guilty.
Well, he's
We'll give
very
you-
into bigger white women. I do
Is
know
what
that
you
much.
Okay.
Switch hitting.
They said all I gotta do is pay my fine. And I get my
Did
Yeah,
say you're in jail.
well, here's what I can tell you. The unofficial printout of the BMV records reflect that the only thing you got a failure to reinstate on an old child support. You may or may not have taken care of that. I don't know. But you do have a fine that you still owe on an old case for us, and you can talk to the clerk when you go down there next.
So if I pay that now,
Most of these comments today I can't even put up. You guys are great.
I'm
I love
reading them, but
Go by
they're
what the Bureau
yeah.
tells you, not by what I tell you. But
Jesus Christ.
based on what you're telling me and what little I've seen, it looks like that may be very likely, but go by what the Bureau says. All right. What'd you say your address is?
4875 Pinto Creek Drive.
And that's in Canal?
Yeah.
What's your zip code over there?
43110.
What do you drive?
I live with my mom.
Uh-huh.
And my mom been out of town. She just came back today.
Okay.
She has to,
We've been partying all week.
That was my mom that I was sitting with. She drove me today.
So don't forget what I said to everybody at the very beginning. You can always track your own case online, so there's no excuse not to show up because you didn't know when it
I
was.
mean, I was doing that and I couldn't see it online. Like I seen my old cases that I had. In the
Kept
past.
taking me to Pornhub.
I was checking it for a while. Then I
Grinder.
get in
You on there, Your Honor?
Well, since you showed up here today voluntarily, I'll go ahead and release you on your own recognizance and recall the warrant. We will get a new court date. Bring all the paperwork you have about your license status to the next court date. Any other questions?
When will it be? You know, so at least get
Excuse me.
ahead
It'll
to
be
it.
fairly quick because probably within the next 3 to 4 weeks. All right. But, you can ask them too. And there's a computer monitor out there. I'm sure one of the deputy clerks would even be willing to come out and just kind of show you how to make sure that you know how to look up your information. All right. All right. You may go with the bailiff. Good luck. Michaela Hunter.
They got to Febreze that whole row.
No.
Oh,
It's just going to have
Wanna send your
police
report
tape
today?
around it for next week.
And did you receive a copy of the 3 citations that you got about the
it's like hot garbage.
Okay. Yeah. So the allegation is that it was back in Pataskala on July the 21st. There's a failure to confine China, a failure to license China, and a failure to license Momo. Now, all three
Those
of
are
these
dogs.
charges are minor misdemeanors. Each case
China, what China got to do with this?
Court costs. How do you want to plead?
I mean,
Guilty, I guess.
Okay. Well, I can't do it on an I guess, so I want to make sure you understand that if you plead guilty, you admit to committing the offenses. That means the state doesn't have to prove anything. You will give up your right to a trial, and you're no longer presumed to be innocent because a guilty plea is complete admission of guilt. Now, they're claiming that you were the owner, keeper, or harbor of the dogs, and those three words have different meanings. Owner means the person who registered the dog. Keeper means the person who's in the physical vicinity of the dog. And then a harbor is somebody who is in control of property.
I wonder if it's spelled
like the house or
CHYNA.
and allows the dog to be
Fine
in. So,
China.
if a person qualifies as any of those, they can be liable under the statute. Understand? And with that explanation, you want to stick with your guilty plea?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I do want to show you this. They want me to get
They're
stuff
new.
off,
China.
but still, yeah, I still have to get rid of the dog. One,
China.
the China, the big dog. My other dog is like this big,
So this is from your landlord.
where I live. Yeah.
Okay, and where do you live?
I live at 210 Cedar Street.
Okay. Well, I don't have
China.
anything to do with that. So that's something between you and your landlord. Okay.
No, I meant, do I still have to do all this even though I have to get rid of her?
If you're no longer the owner, keeper, or harbor of a dog, then you're under no obligation to register it. Okay. But
She got rid of the dog?
for every single day that they're not registered.
All right.
All right. I suppose it just depends on how mad you make the deputy dog.
She shipped them to
China.
This is my first offense. I've lived there 3 years with the same dogs.
Well, that paperwork says that China's been designated as a vicious dog. Is that true?
Because she has
China.
a face mask on, which she is a pit bull. I leave
Oh,
a face mask on her
China.
when she walks out the door. That is for her safety, anybody else's
Go
safety.
ask your mom.
She's vicious. I wouldn't want her to attack anybody's
Could be.
children, anything. But she did bark at the neighbor.
Well, that's not the definition. Of vicious
the old
dog.
lady in the back. She can't hear nothing. She's going like this.
Why they put vicious dog on here?
That's something you're gonna have to
Look at
check
it.
with your landlord.
I
All right.
did, and she said I had no rights because she is a vicious breed of a dog.
Well, if that's what they're going on, that's not correct. It used to be, you live in Tesla, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they got rid of breed-based designations a while ago. It's probably at least, 5 or 6 years. Now it's based on if the dog has
The dog is the eighth wonder of the world.
person, superficial
China.
or killed a dog.
You remember when we did an interview with China? Remember?
I sure do.
And she didn't know that.
Well, in order to have the dog classified as vicious,
It's a
it would have to
great
cause serious
interview.
physical injury to a
Yeah.
person.
Lives on YouTube. Go find it. Good luck.
And the dog warden, like not to overstep you or anything, the dog warden come out, asked me all kinds of questions, took pictures of the dogs, took pictures of the mask, everything. Said I was doing everything right.
What you do?
Well,
Kill the dog.
Except for like she goes through Hillview, she's fixed, she's got all of her shots, but I didn't have her registered to my property.
Okay.
That was the only thing I did wrong.
Okay. Well, now you realize, of course, that by pleading guilty, you waive your right to a trial, and the state doesn't have to prove your guilt beyond a reasonable doubt, right? And the maximum penalty for each offense is up to a $150 fine. And are you a citizen of the United States? All right. Do you work?
Yes,
What do you do?
I'm a cook at Patasco Oaks Nursing Home.
Okay. How long have you worked at the nursing home?
Since 2008.
So quite a while.
Yeah.
All right.
Good for
Who
her.
all lives with you over there on Cedar Street?
Me, my husband, and my 4 daughters.
Okay. How old are your kids?
And our 12 pit bulls.
One just turned 18 this month, one just turned 12, one just turned 13, and one will be 15.
Okay. Well, you got your hands full, it sounds like. So, well, here's what we're going to do. I'm just going to impose the fine that's associated with the ticket if you just mailed in a check. By showing up, you get more time to pay it. Okay. So on each charge, $25 fine, I'll order that you pay the court costs, and they'll tell you exactly how much it is and your deadline when you get down to the clerk's office. Any other questions today? All right, you may go with the bailiff. Good luck to you. And, you can consult with legal aid to find out what options or rights you might have as far as it relates to your landlord. Like I said, I can't give you legal advice, but they can. Okay.
This next one's either going to be fantastic or just a real quick boom, boom, bummer.
Yeah. I hope. I think
Maryland-
we're saving the best for last.
Let's hope. Let's wrap up a Friday with something good. It's all up to you, Marilyn Keister, whatever the hell your name is, you old bag.
How long it takes her to get up there?
She's busy back on her phone commenting about
Good afternoon. Are you Miss
cats
Kister?
on Spied Life.
Are you Miss Kister?
Yes.
Okay. And Miss Kister, did you understand your rights? by listening to the video and following along?
Huh?
Yeah, you followed along with this information and you understood it? Okay. You have not received a copy of your complaint because I have it right here, and I will give it to you before we're finished. But if I give it to you right now, you'll start reading it and not pay any attention.
I prefer men.
Okay, so I'm going to give those back to you. That's your paperwork to keep. The Heath Police Department alleges that on or about the 10th day of August of this year, within the city of Heath and in Lincoln County, Ohio, that you did, without privilege to do so, recklessly enter or remain on the land or premises of another, as to which notice against unauthorized access or presence is given by actual communication to the offender. Now, that's commonly known as criminal trespass. It's a misdemeanor of the 4th degree. Carries up to 30 days in jail and up to $250 fine. So do you understand that that's the charge that was filed? Not necessarily why it was filed or if you agree that it should have been filed, but do you understand that that charge has been filed against you in this case?
Well,
I don't know.
Okay. Well, then let me go ahead and approve not guilty on your behalf. It looks like the allegation is that
Where's
All
that
right.
interpreter when you need it?
In future.
well, here's the deal. It looks like they're alleging that you were at the Spectrum store, I don't know where it is, somewhere in Heath, over on Hebron Road, and that you were asked to leave and that you didn't. So that's the allegation, that when asked to leave, that you did not. That's
I didn't hear them.
land of the premises.
Yeah.
So it's up to you how you want to plead. You can plead not guilty, you can plead guilty, or you can plead no contest.
Yeah, but all that stuff is true.
You know, tickle your ass.
When she said she wasn't going to do my phone, which is why I signed up for Spectrum, you know, the whole house deal, all four, you know, phone, internet, TV, cell phone.
$29.99 for the first 3 months.
And I went in there to try to get her to. Have you ever had to do your own phone? Have you ever had to start your own phone?
No, I haven't. Now, are you retired?
Yes.
What kind of work did you do before you retired?
North Air Force Base.
And what'd you do for them?
Will you do mine?
It's not classified.
No, I worked on different gyro, and then I
General.
worked on the missiles.
Okay.
You
Oh,
know,
God.
different jobs.
Sure. How long did you work there?
22 years.
And you were a civilian employee?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Well,
Pretty big deal.
as much as any service
Have you
member,
ever
you certainly
done your
provided
phone?
valuable service to our country in that regard. You always knew, like anybody else who grew up around here like I did, that if it came to World War III, we were done, right? Because they were coming after the Newark base first.
I hate it.
Because of the guidance systems that they fixed there.
Well, it's not Newark Air Force Base anymore.
Not
But you're
now,
right.
but I'm
Boeing.
talking about back in the
Oh.
day, back during the Cold War.
Yes.
I was always made aware that if
I
there were
made heroes on the front lines.
at least with minor nuclear missiles,
All the
our
stuff
area.
down low, down
Yeah.
below.
Yeah.
Yes.
I actually used to make deliveries to the Air Force Base as well. It was usually micrometers that
Yes.
you guys used to.
Well, I wasn't involved in any of that stuff. That was engineers and stuff.
Gotcha. Well, coming back to the present day,
Yes.
you can plead not guilty, which means you're saying I didn't do it. I'm going to make the state prove beyond a reason about that I did it. You can plead guilty, which is no, I did it. And yeah, they don't need to prove anything because I admit that I did. Then you can plead no contest, which is saying I'm not saying I'm guilty, Judge, but I am saying that what they say happened is true. And if what they say happened is enough to support the charge, I would find you guilty and I would impose sentence. Now, as I mentioned,
You would find me what?
if
I'll
you
tell
plead,
you,
Attractive.
I do not hear very well.
Find you attractive.
if you plead no contest and the facts in this file,
Is there a
support
chance
the
she
charge,
just didn't know she was supposed to leave from there?
and I would impose sentence. So if you
Real
plead
good
guilty or no
chance.
contest and I find you guilty, I would impose sentence. Now, you face up to 30 days in jail, up to a $250 fine. The jail time is not mandatory, meaning if you pled guilty or were convicted, I don't have to send you to serve jail. I don't have to send
Thank you.
I don't have to impose a fine of $250. I can impose no fine, or I can impose any amount between $1 and $250.
I
So
still got
ultimately,
the
you just make
code.
a decision about whether you want to plead not guilty, guilty, or no contest.
I had a briefcase down in my moldy basement.
If I plead guilty, can I still just get a fine or not?
You could. I mean, I can't negotiate
Well, you know,
sentencing with
it
you.
did happen that way. I mean, it did happen. But you know what? When she said she wasn't going to do my phone,
I called her a dirty cunt.
phone. I said, but you have to. I'm in Spectrum now, and it says right in the paperwork you can go to the store. I should have brought that paper up.
Well, so do you want to plead guilty then?
I forgot what I said if I feel plead guilty.
Would you feel more comfortable if I continued this for 2 weeks to give you a chance to talk with a lawyer about it?
I don't know. I'm right in the middle of moving. I do not need this. I shouldn't probably, because I'm going to Spectrum. You know, that's the way I should have done it. You know, gone up their chain of command. I haven't gotten to do it yet because it's only been 2 days.
Correct.
But I didn't think of doing
She needs a
that.
jitterbug.
When she- You know, when she told me to get out, I got right on my cell phone and started calling Spectrum. But in the meantime, she says, well, I'm going to call the police if you don't get out of here. Not in those words.
Right.
She was nice about it.
Okay. Well,
But she said she was going to call the police. I didn't believe her.
well, as far as today's concerned, though, you still have to make a decision about how you want to plead.
No.
I called that bitch's bluff.
This decision is going to be the best for me or easiest.
Well, if you're not sure about
I
what you
just-
want to do,
I just want to pay the fine and get on with moving.
okay, so do you want to enter a plea of guilty then?
Yeah.
Just
Yes.
pay the fine and it'll all be
If I
done.
accept your plea of guilty and I
Yes.
impose a fine as part of your sentence, then yes, you can pay the fine and be done with it.
He's gonna be very lenient.
You understand that you have the right to a trial, correct? I'm going to go over what your rights
Yes.
are. I'm not trying to get you to change your mind about what you're doing.
Yes.
I have to ask you these questions to make sure you're doing it of your own free will.
Right.
You're presumed to be innocent. The state has the burden of proof beyond a reasonable doubt. You have a right to a trial with a judge or a jury. You have a right to an attorney. And if you couldn't afford one and you qualified, we would give you a lawyer for free. Was your intention to give up your right to a lawyer and to resolve it today?
I never even thought of an attorney till there's
Yeah.
other people. were
Well,
getting
and you
one.
are-
But I just want to wind it all up and hope
That's
you're going to
fine.
be nice to me and give
Sure.
me my fine. And
Okay, so you want to waive your right to a lawyer, correct?
Yes.
I never thought this would be a question. I thought I was going to get to go over my whole little case, but in 2 months, of course. What if I say I'm guilty?
Oh, this poor lady.
You can just make up your mind what to do.
You can. I mean, that's my job. If you plead guilty, then I enter a conviction.
I'll do
She's the only
Okay,
one that's
so
going to
you do
get
wanna waive your right to
arrested
an
and
attorney,
taken to
correct?
jail the day
Okay,
of
that's
the
fine.
entire week.
30 days.
You don't have to waive any rights. You don't have to change your enter a plea of guilty. But if you do, you admit that you committed the offense, and they don't have to prove anything, and you'll give up those rights.
I bet she
Understand?
drove
It
here.
says a criminal trespass.
Flip her a note that
If,
says, just
have
plead
you been
guilty.
threatened in any way or promised anything to get you to do what you're doing?
No, I haven't even told.
Okay.
I don't want anybody to know the ones that are there back there.
Do I know
Let me ask you
you?
this, and it may sound like a silly question.
This
but
was
do
on TV. I'd die.
We'll answer yes. Are you under the influence of any alcohol or drugs right now?
What?
Okay, well,
I
good.
hate the taste of alcohol and people are crazy. No, I'm addicted to sweets.
Okay. Well, do you take any
Were this
medicine that
original,
affects your
somebody
ability
said.
to understand what's happening around you? Right.
medicine.
But have you been able to understand my questions and my explanations today?
I do enjoy it.
Tell the truth. You young
Nice.
people talk too fast.
Silver chocolate.
I believe that's
She's turning on
What
him.
caption call is,
Yes.
that's what I do when I have to call a utility.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
But I understand.
You ever have to call
And then
utilities?
Are you a citizen of the United States of America?
Yes, I am.
All right. Anything else you want to say about this situation at Spectrum?
Do you want me to?
You have a right to, but you don't have to. Whether I want you to or not is really irrelevant because I'm going to be here till 4:30, whether I'm with you the whole time or whether you get on your way. She's an assistant prosecutor.
Okay.
She's seen this all before.
Uh-oh,
If
here we
you
go.
don't mind, I would love to tell you the story.
Well, please do.
I
We
signed
got
up
all
for
day. I'm
Spectrum
fine.
and seen the ads on TV, you know, whole house deal.
Mhm.
I thought it was
With the really helpful guy who helps him program the stuff and that gets the husband the sports and everything else.
Well, that's what they say.
Yeah, I've seen it.
And the guy come out, hooked up my TV, hooked up my internet. I still don't have my landline working.
I gave him
Well, I
a
don't think
quarter for
Spectrum
his
has anything to
efforts.
do with the landline.
Yes,
They
they
do?
asked if I wanted to have the landline.
Really?
I said, yeah, I'll get it, the whole deal, because you get a lower price, I guess. Oh my gosh, I got that much literature. But anyway, I thought, oh, good, I'll get help with this phone. I haven't even used the phone. I've had it for 2 months.
Mhm.
I'm still using that old junky phone. But I went in there and she said, no. Now, to give her the benefit of the doubt, I don't know. She said, I can't do it or I won't do it. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. There's a
When I
difference.
start getting mad, I don't hear very well anymore.
Mhm.
But she wouldn't do it. And I said, well, you have to, don't you? She said, this is what shocked me. She said, no, because you did not buy it in this store. I said, you're Spectrum.
You stupid bitch.
I mean,
I punched her.
back. You know, you ever heard of that expression?
Dare you?
Mm-hmm.
He's getting ready to lock her up.
Anything else you want to explain?
Well,
I wanted to cut her.
A couple times I said, well, you have to, you know, you're Spectrum. And she said, no, I don't, because you didn't buy it from this store. She said the very same thing all over again. And she says, is there anything else you want to do? And
That's what she said.
No, but I need to get my phone hooked up. And she said, well, then I don't know. She said, well, that's all I can do. You're going to have to leave the store. Meanwhile, I get on my phone and I start calling Spectrum to find out if this is all true, what this lady's saying.
Mhm.
You know, it is 7:30, getting late.
Mhm.
It closes at 8. I don't know if I heard her say she's going
He's going to have her arrested to get her to leave.
leave her.
When people
Just
tell
like
you what they're going
Spectrum
to
had
do
to
and who they
do.
are, believe them.
Well, especially about if they say they're going to call the police.
Right.
Believe me, that's a lesson learned.
Good.
You know,
I always say the only tragedies in the world are the lessons or the mistakes we don't learn from.
oh,
You're right, baby.
I have learned.
I bet you have. Well, I'll tell you what. Let's go ahead and wrap this up today. I'm going to accept your plea of guilty,
Thank
and
you.
I'm going to impose a fine of $50, and I'm going to order that you pay the court costs.
That's it.
That's it.
Oh my goodness.
I've
I
got
can make
that.
it more if you want.
I've got that cash in a
No, but I
book
hope
at my
I've learned
house.
well enough,
Well,
because I might not get as nice a guy as you. the
I hope
next
you don't
time.
come back to see me again, and this is your copy of the complaint. Okay?
He means that.
Well, good luck with your phone,
He means that.
and you have a good day.
When
I cut her.
No matter what it is.
Good for her. He was done. He didn't want any more of that going out. I mean, it was gold.
Yeah.
And if you noticed, he was letting her talk, and then this is her, and then he looks out like this to the guy on the front row, and then just leans back in. So I mean, he was letting her go, which was great. And we all
And-
knew she was going to get a big fine. I mean,
And I also think for her sake, her telling that story actually probably made her feel. Listen, we make jokes, but that's a sad situation. She needs help with stuff like that. I get it.
Yeah.
It sucks. We make jokes and laugh about it, but that's the real deal there. And I love that. That's actually a good ending. She thought she was gonna get a big fine or something. So she
yeah, I thought she was start dancing in the aisles, boy. She was a very happy customer.
$50. She's all right with that. She's probably loaded anyways. You imagine.
I can only imagine. She's retired from working that job, and oh my goodness.
And by the way, to Spectrum, shame on you. I mean, she wanted some help with her phone.
Yeah, I'm wondering, and they were talking about she didn't buy it there and all this other stuff. So that does.
I mean, is it possible that she like brought in her jitterbug and she's like, I said, well, they do Spectrum Mobile now.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to figure out. Was it the mobile phone, or did she bring her house phone in and want help with her house phone? I don't know. And apparently, whatever it was, it got
Colin
out of
Collins
hand.
with old news. Thank you.
As seen on Wild Woman Wednesday.
That's right. Anyways, hey, thank you guys. What a hell of a day. And starting out with what we did, wrapping that up, pretty good, damn good day. Thank God for Licking County. I'm sorry we just sick on it, but it is so good.
Yeah. I mean, if it's given, we're taking. Make sure though, you like this video. Big crowd today. Nice to see everybody. 2 hours, Creed, in about 30 seconds. We'll be done. 2 hours as per our contract.
It's at least
We
one
nailed
day
it
a
today.
week at 2 hours.
We nailed it. Well, we'll
See
be
ya.
back at 4:05. So make sure you're there for that. What are we on? Florida Friday? Yep.
It is. Today is Friday. Florida Friday. It will be commenced at 4:05.
All right, guys. Until next time. Woohoo, $2.
Hallelujah.
$2 cash.
Thank you.
Yeah. Until next time. Stay at Spectrum Stores. China. Can't believe that old lady.
I don't give a shit.
Using that awful word.